Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever it is that you are watching from in the world, and a very warm welcome to our first ever episode of the EV Lounge here in our HQ in the United Arab Emirates. My name is Jake Fletcher and I am the head of our residential leasing department, and today we are going to be talking all things recruitment, training, onboarding. So if you're considering a career in real estate, then this is definitely the one for you. Since our last webinar, we have had a few improvements on the market, which I'm super happy to share with you today. We did mention that at the start of the conflict that we saw quite a dramatic pause in the number of leads and deals that was happening. However, week on week, these are improving massively, and our leasing leads are actually up 35% based on pre-conflict levels, and our sales leads are down now only 5%. So we really are seeing some resumption in the market coming back, which is amazing for everybody watching and everybody here at our Dubai HQ. Today, I'm going to be talking to some of our fabulous recruitment team, as well as our training team, and of course, some of our agents on the floor as well. So, without further ado, very warm welcome, guys. How are we all?
Yeah, good, thank you. How about yourself?
Good, I'm good. So we have Dominic Haddy, who you are our talent acquisition lead. We have Jess McGee, who is our senior talent lead specialist. Partner, that's the one. We have Jody, who is a talent acquisition partner, and Veronique Brownman. No. This is why I call you V. This is why it's V, because I can't pronounce your name. So to everybody, this is V, or Veronique, if you can actually say her name.
Baumgarten.
And she is our learning and development partner as well. So Dom, you have been in recruitment for quite some time. What attracted you to that industry?
Yeah, 5 years now. So I came to Dubai just after COVID, 2021, early 2021. I'd always been in sales. I'd done some recruitment in the UK. I was actually going to come over here for my previous job, which was IT sales. Company relocated, but this opportunity came up, and you know what? I'm good at relationship building. I think from a promotions background, it just made sense. So it was a really good opportunity, and I saw that the real estate market was thriving. Mm-hmm. That's why I wanted to make the move.
And is it always real estate recruitment that you've done in Dubai, or have you done a mix of different things?
No, so primarily real estate. I've also done a lot of tech recruitment from my background back in the UK, but yeah, since relocating, mainly been real estate recruitment.
Okay, and how would you say that it's changed? Because I think even for me, being here for 6 years, recruitment has changed quite a lot, especially in real estate. How have you found that it's changed over the years that you've been here?
Well, massively. Obviously, there's more brokerages now, there's more brokers now, so that's a good thing, but also you could say it's competition, but at the end of the day, you've got to only represent the brand that you do. Mm-hmm. When I first moved here, I was internal recruitment. After that, I did external recruitment, so I had my own company where I was working with several real estate brokers, so you kind of see what everyone's USP is. Mm-hmm. And then obviously now being with Engel Völkers, you can see that side of it as well. So the biggest change is there's more, but I think that's also put a bigger spotlight on the level of quality there needs to be. And
do you think since over the last few years, there's been a change in the recruitment, as in the type of candidates that are coming through? Are people still able to make the move? Because we're going to come on to it a little bit later on regarding, funds that are needed to move across. Is that different these days to what it was some time ago?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we get a lot of European people join us, a lot of international, but let's say in the UK, for example, things have changed in the UK for the sake of, we don't live there, so I'm not going to slate it, but cost of living's different, so people's savings are different. So that is a massive, massive factor. We are very, very stringent on if you are making the move, we will only, bring you on, give you the training, support you if you can support yourself as well financially, which obviously we'll talk about later. But yeah, that's a big difference. I think 5 years ago, people after COVID were just wanting to get out, and they were doing so by any means possible.
I was one of those. I was a COVID mover.
Exactly. So, so was I. So you have to kind of compare it to then to now. I would say massively now you have to make sure you're financially there, because it's a different market, especially after everything's happened in the last sort of 12 weeks. So yeah, we make sure that support's there.
I think especially, you mentioned the UK, I think it's the same in Europe as well, that the cost of living there is so much higher, and it is harder for people now to get the savings to be able to support themselves, because when you move to a new country, you need to get set up right, and you need to have that bit of a pocket that you can rely on when you first move over, because you're going to have accommodation, you're going to have cars and all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's really important that people are, having that bit of a push behind them. In terms of Engel Völkers, what is different? You've said you've worked with loads of different real estate companies. You had your own that you was kind of sourcing to loads of people. What would you say is what sets Engel Völkers apart from everywhere else?
The biggest thing, without a doubt, is the foundation side of it in terms of, Engel Völkers is a global brand. There's no, you can call it braggadocious, whatever. We are one of the leading.
Sat behind the map.
Exactly.
You can see everywhere that we are in the world.
Exactly. And, albeit some in like North America, that could be a little bit franchised, but we all still report to the HQ in Germany. We are a global brand, we work together. There's a couple of real estate companies that are here that have a presence in other parts of the world, but we are the leading ones for that side of it. So what sets it apart is it's not just your career in Dubai, you never know where it can take you, and also the fact is you can actually work with our other branches in other parts of Europe, all over the world. So that's the biggest thing that sets it apart is do you want to be a really good real estate advisor in the UAE, or do you want to be a global real estate advisor? Because that's what it can be, and that's something that we'll talk about in a little bit about our private office. Some of the deals that they have done haven't been in the UAE, but they've been some of our biggest deals.
So you mentioned private office. What is it?
So the private office is our elite of the elite.
Okay.
We have 17,000 or just under 17,000 agents globally that represent Engel Völkers. There's 208 private office brokers in the world for Engel Völkers. They have their own private CRM, they have their own private admin, own private marketing team that's dedicated to them. They have 2 events a year that's just for private office. One's in North America, this year was Miami. One's in EMEA, this one's in Portugal. These are the elite of the elite. I mentioned just now about a deal that was done. Our 3 private office brokers in the UAE, they closed a group of villas in Ibiza recently, and it created 6-figure commissions for them. They also obviously, of course, still do close here as well, but that gives them that added benefit. And it's not just private office that can do that, but their private communication, their private network of private office between all the territories, that's what brings that opportunity together.
Okay, so I think most of you are watching at home are thinking, this is where I want to get to. I want to be a private office advisor. So what does it take for somebody to come in and become a private office advisor? So,
tenureship is a massive factor. Realistically, there has been some difference, some change to it, but primarily you have to have been with Engel Völkers for 2 years, and that could be you working for Engel Völkers Marbella and then move to Dubai or whatever. But you have to be under the Engel Völkers brand for 2 years, and you have to be commission banking 3.4 million dirham, which is it's a good amount of money, but that is take home. So that's a real nice package to take home, but also it means you're at that level now where you should be really pushing that private office.
I think it's really exciting as well for somebody who has the aspirations to really have real estate as a career, and that's I think one of the main selling points of why Engel Völkers is because you're not just a agent local. You can be doing real estate, like you've said, all over the world, and it means that you can be jetting off. I mean, I follow one of our private office advisors that's based in Canada, and she's been based here for a little while. She's in London, she's been in Italy, because she's literally traveling the world doing her job, which is phenomenal. The global aspect for me, I think, is really exciting when we look at the global awards. And this year it's being held in Tuscany, which is an amazing place. It's super picturesque and beautiful. It's very on brand, it's high end, it's luxury, which is what we kind of stand by. And we actually do quite well out of those awards. So last year we had Mohammed Faris, who is one of our private office advisors. He was actually number 1 worldwide. So the best agent in the group came from Dubai. We also have got a few nominated for this year in the top 10. So we are bringing them awards back to Dubai as well, which is a super important thing. In terms of the day-to-day aspect of what the agents are doing, how does that look like? What is a day-to-day job of an agent?
Well, I think that varies in terms of what department they're in, whether they're leasing, whether they're sales, but primarily it is always going to be the same thing. We always make sure as a company we have that Monday morning 9 a.m. meeting to go over hot stock, big listings, how can we all communicate and work well together, and then it's down to the teams primarily. It's what the manager feels best if they want to do a meeting straight after. But look, we're adults, we're expected to understand that it's a commission only role, so you have to work hard for it. So you are there to go out and work out your own calendar, but of course we have set call out times where it's that camaraderie, it's that kind of unison that we all come together. So that's kind of it's scattered, but it's also structured at the same time. So it's the only way to describe it, and anyone who's worked in real estate will know what that means.
Yeah, I think it takes a certain type of breed of people to do real estate, because it's not for everybody, and you have to be able to control your day. You need to be able to put yourself in difficult situations. Sometimes it's sales, really, and you're going to try and learn. There's a lot of competition in Dubai. There's a lot of brokerages in Dubai. Why would you say to an experienced broker that they should move to EV? What is different about EV that can help them level up? Let's say somebody's been an agent for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even longer. What is it specifically that EV can help them elevate doing?
It's the aspirations of where do you want to go with this. Do you want to be in real estate for the next 5, 10, 15 years? Amazing. Do you want to do it in Dubai for the next 10, 15 years? Great. Do you unsure, maybe your family want to relocate, maybe you settle down? Is there an opportunity for you to migrate to a different part of Engel Völkers? There is that opportunity there. So you're then putting yourself in the higher echelons of an international broker. That's where the opportunity comes in. You can be just focused on UAE, or you can be focused on UAE with international clients, because let's face it, in the UAE, most of the big investors aren't actually necessarily from here. So if you've got an international investor that you're working with very, very closely, yes, guess what? They're very, very happy investing in the UAE, but you've got an opportunity to put them into other territories, which they're probably already looking at. If they're intelligent, if they're looking to diversify, they'll already be looking at other territories. Instead of saying, oh, okay, well, good luck in Marbella, good luck in Ibiza, good luck in Barcelona, wherever, you can then say, actually, I can do that for you as well. So it's whether or not you want to elevate yourself to that international level. And
I think as well, I mean, you can be a good broker anywhere, right? There's other amazing companies that are out there. For me, I think one of the main things that Engel Völkers can offer is the amount of depth and marketing that goes into the listings, because you can be the best broker in the market, but if your company is not spending on promoting your listings, you're not going to get leads. You can have loads of properties, but then they're soon going to go because the owners are ultimately going to get annoyed that you've not rented or that you've sold them. And one of the things that I love about this company is how much we really invest in marketing. And when you look at the portals, we see from Property Finder and Bayut the percentage of depth that we have, which basically means what percent of our listings have got additional spend on versus the other people in our category. And being such a large company, we're in that diamond segment. So we're kind of compared to all of the other big players in the market. And when I was speaking to them yesterday to get some stats for this exact talk show, is that in most of those core areas, our percentage of depth is double everybody else, which just goes to show for an experienced agent that's doing well, that really wants to elevate and take their career to that next level, you can be a great agent, but if your company's not spending on the marketing, you're going to be stuck at a certain level. And I think that's another reason of why EV is such a great shout for those experienced brokers.
Yeah, 100%.
In terms of agents standing out, because there's a lot of them in the market. I mean, a few of us have been agents on this couch. What is it that really makes somebody stand out, that can take them from being a meh agent to a okay agent to a I'm a great agent?
Yeah, good question. I think, again, that comes down to personal branding, that comes down to utilizing what you have in front of you. If you can utilize on every opportunity your company gives you, that's where it will take you to the next level. Some people, they find their niche and they'll go, this is my niche, this is all I want to focus on. It's like, that's great, but let's say, God forbid, something happens in that area, something that the leads go down, you want to move somewhere else, you have to start from zero. It's about understanding you're not the smartest or the best broker in the room, and actually listening to the people around you, whether it's from director level all the way down to senior broker. Listen to that, and also look down at the people that are in leasing, that are young, hungry. Understand that you were once that person, and say, I want to be that person again. You can't lose that hunger, you can't lose that desire, and always kind of have an open mind of how you can evolve as a broker and an advisor.
Amazing, love that. Well, I'm going to leave you alone for a little
Thank
bit.
you.
I'm going to come on to Jess. Jess, you have been with Engel Völkers for a couple of years now?
Yeah, just over 2 years now.
What was it that you was doing before you joined?
So previous to Engel Völkers, I was working with another real estate company in recruitment also for just over a year.
Okay.
And that was my first role here in Dubai.
And what attracted you to doing recruitment?
I mean, real estate was something that interested me, but recruitment, I kind of fell into it. And it's just kind of, that's what I've been doing ever since, and I really love it now because, working with people and getting to speak to different people every day, and obviously hiring people into this amazing environment is great.
Nice. And why EV? So you was previously at another company. Obviously, you was looking to change. What was it about EV that attracted you to come here?
I mean, we talk about it a lot, but the main thing was the brand. I think as a recruiter, you really want a strong brand that you have confidence in when you're hiring people into the company. So yeah, just having that strong brand, and it's, you know, reputable, it's well known, it's trusted, not just here in Dubai, but globally as well. Yeah, that was the main thing that I was looking for.
Okay, amazing. And Dubai has been in the media a lot recently, of course, so we've all seen it. And there's a lot of comments online saying, you know, real estate in Dubai is finished, it's la la. We know that it's definitely not, because we see the stats, we see the numbers, we see the deals, we constantly get notifications in the group chat with deal announcements. Why is real estate in 2026 still the best industry to get in?
I mean, you know, despite what's happening and what has happened recently, it's still an amazing market to be in. Like you said, we're still having a lot of deals going on. Like last month in April, for example, our leasing and our commercial teams, it was their best month of the year so far.
We did indeed. Leasing and commercial, best month of 2026, which is amazing.
Obviously, despite what's going on, we've still been able to make that happen. So everything that's always made it attractive still makes it attractive. You know, that uncapped earning potential. So yeah.
I think for me, one of the things that I love about this country, and there's many things, we all love it, that's why we moved here, it's why we've set up home, but it is just how resilient the country is. And when we've seen previous markets, and we discussed it in our last webinar of, you know, how Dubai has bounced back from these things, and they take anything that's a negative and turn it into a massive positive. And I think we're going to see that again with what's been going on recently, and we're already seeing it in leasing and in commercial, that they're actually bouncing back stronger than what they was before.
Yeah.
In terms of the interview process, how does that usually look? For anybody that's sat at home watching today that's thinking, you know, I really want to get into real estate, I don't know what the process is, how would you describe it to them?
So we have a really clear process with a few different steps. So after someone's applied with us, they'll first get a call from one of our recruitment team if their CV passes the screening.
Okay.
We'll
so
check.
First step is check over the CV.
Yeah. First step, check over the CV. As long as you meet kind of the basic requirements, we'll give you a call and we'll run through a couple basic questions just to check, you know, that this is the right role for you and that you could potentially be a good fit for us as well. After that, we'll schedule in a first stage interview, and that will be with the recruiter.
Okay.
After that, we'll kind of figure out which team you might be best going into, whether that's leasing, sales, commercial, or off-plan. And then we'll put your profile forward to one of our hiring teams, and then you will have a second stage interview.
Okay, so first of all, it will be like a screening call just to kind of give them a bit of insight knowledge into the role. Second step then is if you're happy with them and also they're happy to continue, because like we said, it's not for everybody, right? So, and it's fine if they get off that phone call and think, you know what, actually this isn't for me, it's fine. And at the same time, we can really decipher whether we think this person is going to be a fit for the brand and also in the role before they go through to one of the hiring managers.
Exactly.
And is that typically then going to be who they would report to? Is that their manager then when they join the business?
It really depends like which division they're going into. If it's for the leasing division, as you know, then they meet directly with you. If it's for some of our sales divisions, they will meet with the actual sales manager. But before anyone does join us, they will always have a chance to meet whoever they're going to be working with and reporting to directly.
Okay, amazing. So stepping away then from that recruitment process, and somebody's got the job, which is amazing. What does that next step look like? So the onboarding process, because especially a lot of our candidates that we recruit are overseas, and there's a lot of questions that come from what I'm doing with next. So how does that onboarding process look?
Yeah, so sometimes we hire someone and they're joining next month. Sometimes they're joining in maybe 3, 4, 5 months. So we do have a lot of contact with them during that time. So they'll be speaking with the recruiter, they'll be speaking with the manager as well. We'll have constant communication between the two. We'll keep them up to date on the market so that they come in and they know what's happening right now. We also send them over a lot of information. We send them over our market reports. We send them over a welcome guide as well. That's a lot of information about not just the company, but also relocating, and a few things that we've put in place as well. So we do have a partnership with a hotel group here, so that we can offer kind of discounted rates to anyone who's joining us. And yeah, we just have that constant communication because, like you said, there's so many questions, and there's never a silly question as well. Obviously, when you're moving countries, you're starting a new job, you're starting a new life. There's a lot to go into.
I remember I had a lot when I first moved over, and it was like, okay, I'm actually doing this, and I got the job in
Yeah.
the October and moved in the January, and then 4 months. I felt as if I was prepared until the last week, and then
Yeah.
when it came to like a week until I was flying, I was like, I actually don't have any of this. I'm not ready and I'm not prepared. And I think the onboarding guide that we send out is actually super useful because it's not just, you know, company specific. There's things on there regarding good apps to download, because in Dubai, there's an app for everything. I mean, that's one of the things that I was amazed at. You don't even have to go and get your own fuel. You can get fuel delivered to your house. I think everybody gains a stone. It's called the Dubai stone when you arrive because it's so easy to just order food on Careem and all of the other apps that you can do. So I think it's really important that, you know, we give that support, and that if people have got questions, they know that they can still speak to you guys. So
100%.
you kind of become their onboarding partner after the recruitment process, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And something else as well, so when people are moving to join us and they're new to the industry, a lot of times we were having questions about how can I start learning before I've even arrived in Dubai, like they've never been or they've only been once, and they wanted to just like learn the basics. So we did create some pre-onboarding training as well.
Love that.
So that's something else that we send out to them so that they can do their own research and get stuck in before they actually arrive with us in our academy.
Okay, so typically what usually happens is most people will go into leasing, right? That's normally the typical time frame for people. They will start in leasing, and then if they want to go into sales, then that'll be their next step for them. However, some people do join us and they go directly into sales. What do they need to be prepared for? Because obviously it's a very different process. When you are starting in leasing, it's a lot quicker, you can make money faster, you're a lot more busier. In sales, it can be a bit slower, right?
Yeah, so like you said, usually we do recommend and advise going into leasing first because it just is easier getting started out. But for certain candidates, you know, they are a good fit for going straight into sales. The main things that we assess is, well, that I assess is that they are financially prepared and also mentally prepared. So they need to have the savings, like you said, to be able to support themselves much longer. You know, months, 3, 4, 5 months maybe. We can never say when you're going to do your first deal, when your first commission is going to come through. And then the next thing is mentally as well, because, you know, going a few months without commissions or without having any pay come in, it can be difficult.
Drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got rent to pay and car to pay, and Dubai is not a cheap place.
Yeah, you need to be ready to, you know, wait and understand that in time it will come if you're doing the things that you need to do. But yeah, it is definitely a more difficult one than going into leasing, like you said.
I think leasing is great, and we'll hear from Lisa, who has done that process shortly. But for me, starting in leasing is so much better because if you're starting in sales straight away, you don't know anybody, especially if you're just moving here, and it's all about connections, it's all about relationships. And if you're just calling a random owner saying, oh, hey, it's Jake from Engel Völkers, we've never spoken before, but I want to sell your property, they're like, I'm sorry, who are you? Why am I going to trust you to sell the property? Whereas if you start in leasing, all of your clients, you're going to have them from when you was in leasing. So you've built that relationship, you've built that trust with them. And that then has proven in the data that you go on to do deals a lot faster when you move into sales, when you've already done leasing. And I think the other thing as well is that you get so much more information about your area because you become an area specialist. So it's not just a case of, you know, you're landing and you're trying to sell these buildings that you've never even been in before. When you're in leasing, because the volume of transactions is so much more, that you're in the buildings a lot more, you get to know different things, you know the local supermarkets, the schools, and all of that kind of aspect of it as well. In terms of the office atmosphere, what's it been like recently?
So we brought everyone into our Dubai HQ here in JVT, so all of our teams are here together.
And it's a bit tight.
Yeah,
it's a little bit cozy.
It's very busy, but it's been a really good atmosphere. Obviously, bringing everyone together, it's allowed for teams to kind of work together and get deals closed that perhaps wouldn't have been done previously. And obviously, due to the current situation that's been happening, it's been great to get everyone together and just be working together.
Yeah, I think I've loved, as much as it's been cozy over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, it's been really nice to actually see the business back together, because it's great having, you know, the different offices with different departments, you know, across our network, but having everybody in one place, it's nice to see everybody. Obviously, we've done company call outs as well, so we're kind of a bit, and everybody in competition with each other of who can compete and who can do the most calls. We've got tournaments that we're doing between the teams as well. So yeah, while it's cozy, it's definitely a nice environment that we're in. Obviously, we've been through a bit of a conflict in the Middle East.
Yeah.
What success stories have we had that have come out of it so far in terms of new agents that we've hired?
I mean, obviously we've still been hiring. We've still had training academies, pretty
And
much.
they're full as well. Like
Yeah.
the first one was a little bit quieter,
Yeah.
but I was amazed, especially one of the ones that we had towards the end of March. It was, super busy. We've got 15, 16 booked in for the beginning of next month. Like these are big numbers of people relocating across.
Yeah, and obviously you would think that people were a bit apprehensive, which some people are.
Yeah.
But those people who are still making the move, we've seen that they're still closing deals. One of the agents that we hired into Off-Plan, he was actually one of the top performers for the whole of Q1.
Amazing.
When he joined, during this difficult situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's obviously still deals going on. There's still money to be made.
I think one of the girls that actually joined us was so desperate to come. She took a 25-hour plane journey. She had to stop over in 3 different places, which just shows the dedication of what people want to do to actually get here. And she's been doing great since. She's got listings, she's closed the first deal, she's also had a sales deal that's closed that she referred across as well. So I think it's really good for anybody that is watching, that is now a good time to join. People are still joining and becoming successful straight away. Jess, when people are interviewing with you, because there's probably going to be people watching right now that have either interviewed with you or they've got interviews coming up, or maybe they're going to interview with you in the future, what tips would you give them to be prepared for an interview with yourself?
So the main thing that I look for in interviews is really the personality, the energy.
Massive.
I want to see evidence, from their previous work experience of their drive, their motivation. That to me is more important than their actual experience.
Yeah.
Because like we said, we've got the training academy, everything can be taught. It's those kind of values, that work ethic that we're really looking for, that's going to carry you through, and the resilience as well.
Okay, amazing. I'm going to leave you alone for a little bit now, and I'm going to move on to Jodie. So, Jodie, you focus more on leasing recruitment, so we work very, very closely together indeed. And the crowd in leasing is typically a younger crowd. So how do we kind of make sure that it is a appealing environment for the younger crowd? Because we are a more grown-up agency. We are that kind of next level agency. Yeah. However, of course, leasing is a huge part of the business. So how do we appeal to the younger people?
So obviously not only we have the brand, like everyone has mentioned, we also have a great social aspect. We do lots of events. We have monthly drinks every third Friday. We do monthly and quarterly awards, which is nice for the whole company to come together, especially when we put it over our social media. It's nice for those at home to also see that this is the sort of thing that we do. Aside of that, we also do like a lot of sporting events, so we do gym workouts.
I've not got involved in any of them.
You haven't?
Yeah.
You
haven't.
No.
I've not. I will, I promise.
Disappointing.
We do the gym.
Yeah, you guys have all done the gym workouts. For me, I'm still relaxing asleep.
We'll
yes,
get you on one.
We'll get me on one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do the aqua aerobics. So
yeah, we'll see.
I am. I was an ex-holiday rep, so I am used to getting everybody up from their sunbed, getting them in the pool when nobody wants to because they're relaxing. Yeah. And we've got the pool that's just handed over, which is amazing.
Yeah,
I'm sure anybody watching has seen it on everybody's Instagram story that works here because everybody is so excited about it. Yeah. But I'm going to do aqua aerobics, so that's a gym workout.
I'm not sure I'm tall enough though because it's quite deep.
It's fine.
So
we'll get you a stool. We'll put a stool in the bottom of the pool for you.
So yeah, we do lots of sporting events. We do high rocks, we do paddle sessions, we do run clubs. We also do a really great workout on the 5 Palm, which is really nice. V, our trainer, she also does yoga sessions in the office. Haven't been to one of those ones though.
You've not been to one of those ones. Okay, I found something.
Aside of that, we also have loads of other benefits. So we work closely with Mercedes-Benz. Yeah. So we've got a branded fleet for agents to get a nice branded
A-class. And I think we're the only agency in Dubai that has Mercedes fleet. I'm not going to ask you to say Mercedes V because you say it the correct way. You say it the right way. It's the same as how we say Engel Völkers. It's not the German way of saying it. Maybe when I come to you, I will. But yeah, the Mercedes fleet is amazing, right?
They're so nice. Yeah, super cars. And we also do 2 incentive trips a year for the top performers. We also do...
We went on one.
We did.
We went to Azerbaijan. So we did a skiing trip. Me and Jess have been to Zanzibar, which was a lot of fun. I think the incentive trips for me is is a huge one because, you know, a lot of agencies are giving out monthly prizes, and we asked our agents, would you prefer monthly prizes or would you prefer to have big annual trips? And there's not many agencies that do these, and if people have followed us on social media, you'll see how much fun we actually have on those trips. I mean, we swam with dolphins in Zanzibar, we were skiing and probably nearly breaking our necks down in the ski slopes, but they are a lot of fun. So how do agents get on them? Is that just a case of they've got to be a top performer, or is there other ways they can get on?
This is a great thing about it as well. We can also get people who aren't top performers. We do like golden tickets where we pull names out of hats. So anyone can get on these trips as well. So it's really nice.
Okay, amazing. So in terms of benefits, you briefly touched on it there with obviously the Mercedes fleet. What other benefits do we have that is different to other companies? Because a lot of companies, you know, they say the same thing of what it is that they offer, and it's the same across the board. So I think for the biggest one for me is the Mercedes fleet. What else would you say is a benefit of what sets us apart for people that are joining the company?
So new people that are coming over, it's great that we work with, like Jess mentioned before, we work with the hotels, so you can get a discounted hotel stay before you come. We also work closely with car companies, we work closely with Virgin, so you can also get discounted SIM cards. So we do help in every aspect of your onboarding, from hotel stays to phones, like we will guide you along the way as well.
Okay, and I think we have obviously the space that we're in now, they can't see it on camera, but behind the camera is a huge space, which is a breakout space, and it's just over 3,000 square feet. We've mentioned the swimming pool that we've got, which is private, by the way. We've also got ping pong tables, and it's just nice that the agents can come in and have a break and have that relaxing space. And I think this space gets used quite a lot during the day. Too much sometimes from the agents, but it's nice for them to be able to have that kind of space. And also parking and lifts is a big one for me, because I mean, I know me and you definitely have worked in buildings where majority of real estate companies are in Dubai, and we are completely separate away from that. For me, the most simple thing of not queuing for a lift in the morning, because when I've worked in other buildings across Dubai, they're very commercial hubs.
I've heard horror stories.
And you literally, there's days that I've queued for 30 minutes just to get into the lift. Whereas here, because it's only 2 companies in this building, it's very quick and easy to get in the lift. It's my time at the end of the day that I'm getting back. And also parking. I'm not having to pay crazy amounts of money for parking every single day. You know, there is free parking around
the office
that they can do, which is, you know, a really useful tool. A lot of people always, not worry, but they question, because they don't have experience in real estate, whether they can actually get into it and whether we accept people that don't have real estate experience. So is it a mandatory that you've got experience in real estate, whether in your home country or in Dubai, before you join us?
No, absolutely not. We take people with any sort of experience. Obviously, sales experience is a bonus. However, no, we can take people, we've hired people with all sorts of different backgrounds. I mean, we've got people from the army and all sorts. So no, you don't specifically need real estate experience, but sales experience is a bonus. But like Jess mentioned before, it's person to person. As long as you've got a good can-do attitude, then, and a good positive mind, then yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mistakes. What are some of the common mistakes that agents make when they join real estate, but especially move to Dubai?
There is one main one that I see quite often, especially at the beginning of their relocation, and especially the younger
crowd. Usually in my department, it's usually in leasing.
Yeah, so it's very easy to do, but a lot of people get mixed up into the Dubai lifestyle quite quickly, going out, spending a lot of money, not really focusing their time and energy into doing real estate. So that is probably the biggest downfall that I see with new agents. Obviously, you can't really blame them. I appreciate that you're in a new city.
It's tempting. It's super tempting.
Especially like to your family and friends back home.
They want the Instagram stories. They want to be living the high. They've had a moving away party, and it's like, look at my life.
So I can completely appreciate that it's exciting, but that is probably the biggest downfall that I see. And one thing I would say is your first 3 to 6 months in real estate is going to be the most important time in your 100%. Career to focus and just keep your head down. Yeah, and then once you've made all that money, you can go and
then you can, and you feel so much worthy of it. Like now when I go and do all this amazing stuff, I feel like I deserve to do
Absolutely.
it rather than just posting it for the sake
Yeah,
of
of
social
doing it.
media, because we've all done it. But I always say to people when they first join is just ignore Dubai. Like when
Yeah.
I first came, I weren't actually that interested in Dubai at all. That's not what attracted me to do it. It was the job was what I was coming for. And for the first 3 months, I didn't venture out. I was just in the office every single day from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. And then after 3 months, and I started making a bit of money and I started venturing out, is when I really fell in love with the city. But like you said, I think if you get sucked into that lifestyle, which it's so easy
It's
to
easily
do,
done.
especially when you can be, so lazy and get everything delivered, you can have
Yeah.
the most amazing life here. The opportunity that it has is incredible. But you get one opportunity at joining such a global brand that you can really make a career out of, that if you get sucked into that, a lot of people run out of money,
Yeah.
and then they have to get a one-way ticket back home a lot quicker than what they thought, and then they have the embarrassment of explaining
So
to their
sad.
friends of,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I didn't really make it. So I think that is a huge one. The most common
Yeah.
mistake has got to be, the head's got to be in the right place when you move
Absolutely.
over.
Yeah.
I asked Jess the same question, so I'm going to ask you as well. What tips have you got for anybody watching that would be interviewing with Jodie? What do you look for?
Okay, so a little bit different to Jess. I would probably say punctuality, so showing up on time, making sure
Major.
you're dressed appropriately, and don't be in the car when you're on an interview.
Don't be in the car.
Don't be in the
This
car.
is a huge one for me, honestly. If I join a Zoom meeting, I can see they've got their seatbelt on, or they're just like, and they're so distracted though, and I get it, because if
Yeah.
you're sat in the car and you've got people walking past
I'm the
you,
worst. I'd
you
be-
see them in
yeah.
like the side mirror, and you see them, and then the focus isn't on me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to get to know you and your personality.
Yeah.
This is a big one from me. I think I've said to Recruitment
I
a
get it
couple
all
of
the
times,
time,
like,
though. All
I'd
the
have replied
time.
saying, this person was sat in their car. But yeah, I think punctuality is a major one, because
Yeah.
if you can't show up on time for an interview
How are you
where
supposed
you're
to show up
trying
on
to
time?
impress somebody,
Yeah.
how are you going to show up on time when you actually get into the office as
Yeah,
well?
and you've got clients to meet.
And you've got clients to meet, which
Yeah.
is never good.
Yeah.
Jodie, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I'm going to leave you alone for a little bit.
Thank
And
you.
come on to V, because I can't pronounce your name properly.
That's
I
okay.
think today is the first time I've actually tried to do it and realised that's why I,
actually
don't
think so
do it,
too, yeah.
because it doesn't
I think
work.
that's the first time.
So you recently joined us.
Correct?
How have you found it so far?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think what I found so great since I joined here is that everyone is such a team, and I felt so supported by everyone. Everyone was super friendly, because there's a lot of us here.
Yeah.
So when you walk in and you're only kind of the new person, you're a bit worried, but everyone was super helpful, super supportive, and not just the agents, everyone from management all the way up to the CEO, everyone is super supportive here, so it's been great.
Amazing. And what did you do before this?
So before I joined ENV, I was an agent myself. So when I moved to Dubai 2 years ago, I was a leasing agent first. So I did the
You did the proper way.
I did the proper way
Love
as
that.
well. So I was a leasing agent first, and then I went into sales. And before Dubai, I was also a real estate agent back in London. So yeah, I had a bit of experience beforehand, but then kind of grew while moving to Dubai and being here.
And what made you move, out of curiosity, from Germany to the UK?
Oh, so the big move. I moved from Germany to the UK to study.
Okay.
So when I was 17, I packed kind of my bags, said bye to the family and moved over to the UK.
Yeah.
And then kind of never left. But then, I mean, I still love the UK, don't get me wrong, but there was just a time to kind of go somewhere else, and yeah.
And then you went to live on the water for a while.
Yes, I was working on cruise ships for nearly 8 years. Obviously, there was a bit of time where there was COVID as well. But yeah, I was a dancer on cruise ships.
What was
so-
that like? Because I did the holiday rep side,
Yeah.
where I was round the pool doing the acro aerobics.
Yes.
What was it like being on a ship? Because that was one thing that I always wished that I'd done a season of, was working on board.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of stuck on a metal kind of boat.
Floating
home.
hotel.
Floating
literally.
hotel, yes, for literally 11 months at a time.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of people, a lot of different nationalities, so you just need to be a big team player. You need to be able to obviously manage different situations as well. It was a lot of fun, so a lot of amazing places. But yeah, kind of made me not be scared of trying maybe moving to different countries or being somewhere different, because you get to meet so many amazing people and learn about so many different cultures. And yeah, it was a great time, but the older you get, I feel like you want a bit more something stable and settle down somewhere.
Okay, so you decided that you wanted to step away from being an agent and kind of go into those training routes. Why EV? What was it about EV that made you want to apply to come and be a trainer here?
So obviously, for me being from Germany, everyone knows ENV or Engel Völkers.
There we go.
There
Say
we go.
Mercedes. Come on, do it.
Engel Völkers.
No, Mercedes.
Oh, Mercedes.
There we go.
There
Yeah,
you
here
go.
we go.
So yeah, it's a massive brand, obviously back at home in Germany. I know some friends who, after college or A levels back at home, moved and studied to do real estate in Germany. So it's always been a brand that I knew. So when I kind of wanted to go into a different career and really elevate myself and look more into the future, it made a lot of sense to go with a company that is not just here in Dubai, that's actually a global brand, which we all mentioned already. But I think that's super, super important because, yes, right now we all love living here and that might be a thing for the next 5 to 10 years. But if you ever do change your mind, with ENV you have the opportunity to say, right, I'm going back to the UK or to Germany, and you can still be part of the company and not kind of start from the top or from the bottom again.
Yeah.
So that was really important to me.
So as the learning and development partner, you are in control of all of our training, basically. So
Correct.
when the new agents come, you are the first person that they see when they come into the office. Give me an overview of what that training looks like, especially for people that have never done it before.
Yes, so what's great, what we've actually changed over the last few months is our training academy is now 2 weeks long. However, we're not just in the academy, so we're not just
stuck in a classroom for
You're
2
not back in
weeks.
school, no. We actually have now integrated that you also get to already meet your teams and you're able to already sit on the floor as well. So we felt that you do a few days of really intense training, but it's obviously still very hands-on. Your managers also join for your training sessions, so you don't just see me,
Yeah.
you also see other faces coming in. And what we thought was important is to have that change to, you learn so much. You moved to a new country, most of the obviously new people who are coming to ENV. If you teach them too much, by the time the training academy is over, they've forgotten half of the things.
Yes.
So we thought it's important to maybe do a few days of training, then you actually get to sit with your team, you actually use what you learned already.
The more practical side
Exactly,
of things.
practical side of things. And then you come back after a few days into the academy. We do presentations where you can kind of really present your area, you can really get to know Dubai. And yeah, it's just not just in the classroom, which we think has shown amazing improvements over the last few months.
And I think the presentations are really important because so every agent will do a presentation on their area that they're going to be
Correct.
covering, right? And if we've got quite a large group of people, chances are we're going to have people in that training room that are doing all different areas in Dubai. So it gives, especially the new agents, a bit of an insight into the different communities and helps them learn
Correct,
as well.
and it helps them learn again about Dubai, especially if you just moved here. You might know the places everyone knows, like the Palm or the Marina or downtown, but there's so much to Dubai. So it's really helpful to be in a group together. And obviously we had so many amazing groups at the moment where there was really like a big group and we could all exchange everything. So it's been great doing the presentations to really help everyone out and not just obviously the agents for their job later on in their community.
And the stats speak for themselves. Obviously, you mentioned over the last few months we've changed that training program rather than it being a 1 week intense course
Correct.
to over a 2 week period where they're a couple of days in the classroom, a few days on the floor, putting what they've done in the classroom to practice and then coming back into training. The stats have really shown us that that works, right? Because people are leaving training sometimes in that first week with listings already.
Correct.
We've seen somebody closing their first deal by the end of the training period. What is your opinion on that? Do you think that is a good thing?
I think it just shows that what we're doing now is really motivating the new agents to kind of just give it a go and not be too scared. I know you learn so much, and as we say, it's not an easy industry to go into either, but I think we really started to give the agents a lot of support. As I said, it's not just me, it's also the managers, and it's not just maybe your manager, it's also the CEO comes in to introduce themselves, and we do all these nice little things, and I think we're trying to take that little worry away from them.
Yeah.
And with that attitude, I think everyone has just kind of gone a bit, I just got to give it a go. And we've seen amazing things happening out of the academy. As you already mentioned, someone closed nearly 3 sales deals within 16 days of even moving to ENV. Everyone usually
Not blowing your own trumpet there at all. It's
Not at all, not at all. No, but it's their amazing work,
Yeah.
right? So we've seen agents getting listings quite soon, and that's obviously what's going to make you money sooner. So it's great seeing that.
Okay, amazing. And final question for you, V, at this point. What do you enjoy about your role? Obviously, it's very different to being an agent. So what is it about training that you really enjoy?
I think First of all, it's really nice getting to meet so many different people. So every 2 weeks, I usually have between 10 to 20 new people, obviously sitting in the academy. So it's really nice to get to know so many different people. But what makes me really proud, and that's maybe why I speak about it, or just already spoke about it, is when they succeed, that makes me feel super proud, because you're like, okay, I'm
like
contributing, and I'm contributing to them maybe starting a massive career for themselves and changing their lives completely. So every time I see a listing or a first deal for them, I just feel super proud, and it's nice to be part of their journey.
Amazing. Well, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to ask you guys to just step away from the couch for me now, as I'm going to bring a couple of our agents on, but don't go far, because I'm going to be getting you to come back to do a Q&A at the end. So we've heard from our recruitment team, we've heard from our training team, and now I would like to invite to the couch to come and have a chat with me, two of our agents, Lisa Collar and Shahin. So guys, please come on and join me as they come on. Round of applause, yes, love that. We have a behind the scenes audience there. Lisa, we go back a long way.
Yeah.
You joined me back just over a year ago now. You come from a background in, microphone, please. We need a microphone. Background in real estate, and you joined EV in Germany when?
I joined at ENV in 2018, so I started my apprenticeship over there.
Okay.
And then continued being an agent for over 4.5 years, approximately. And yeah.
And what attracted you initially to Engel Völkers back in Germany? Let's start there.
So it's, one of the biggest real estate companies worldwide. It's very well known, as Veronique said, in Germany. It's the biggest brand in Germany, and also over Europe you see the shops everywhere. So even like being on holiday as a kid, spending a lot of time in Spain, they were like
everywhere in Spain.
Everywhere.
Honestly, when I went to Marbella last year, I couldn't believe you can't drive down a road and not see the brand. And then I went down one road and there was one shop, and then I carried on maybe even like 200 meters, there was another shop. Like, it is everywhere across Europe.
Exactly, yeah. And I always loved looking at the shop windows, at the properties, and imagining being an agent myself. So yeah, at 18 then I took the chance.
Amazing. And why move from Germany to Dubai?
So I believe Dubai brings a lot of opportunities. It's a very dynamic market. There are a lot of opportunities. It's very fast. There are a lot of projects handing over regularly. So there is a lot of strong ROI and market appreciation. So we have international buyers from literally every nationality. So
Amazing. I think one of the things that I love is that we get a lot of leads that come to us that are what I call direct leads. So majority of agents' leads typically come from the portals, right? When you put a property online, you get a lot of the leads come through. And I truly believe it's because of the global presence of when people are investing in Dubai, whether they live in Europe, whether they live in America, and they see they have Engel Völkers here in Dubai, that they immediately reach out to us and say, hey, I've got a property that I want to rent or sell, or I'm looking to buy, or I'm looking to rent a property. Do you tend to find that you get quite a few of those generic leads as well?
Yes, absolutely. So especially when it comes from a European country, Spain, Germans, they have immediate trust with ENV because they might have sold already or bought with ENV within a different country. So definitely it helps a lot working for the brand as well, getting the leads in.
Cool. So although you had experience in sales, because that's what you did in Germany, you technically qualified to go directly into our sales team because you had that previous experience in a different country and even with the brand itself. But you started in leasing.
Yeah.
Why did you start in leasing?
So I was basically completely new to Dubai. I had zero experience of the areas over here, and it just helped me building a stronger network. You meet a lot of people in a faster time, and also you see a lot of buildings, you meet a lot of people, and it helps as well, like knowing for how much properties are renting when selling a property, to calculate the ROI, to literally advise your clients in the best way possible.
And you was one of the best leasing agents that was in the team, and then you've now transitioned into sales. How did you find that transition from leasing to sales?
It was smoother. transition, absolutely, because I was familiar in my area already. It helps that we have trainings from time to time when it comes to mortgage or any sales transitions.
Different parts of the process.
So that definitely helps a lot. But it was smooth because I had my clients already. They are reaching out again. I just had a call today from one of my landlords that I rented out last year. If it's just an advice, either to rent it again, I can refer to the leasing team, or even when it comes to sales, like they want to invest again, or so yeah, it was definitely a smooth transition.
And do you feel like spending that time, because it was about 9 months that you spent in leasing, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that time that you spent has benefited you, or is going to continue to benefit you now that you're in sales?
Absolutely. So the more time you spend in leasing, the more people you meet, the more relationships you can build up. And
I've not paid her to say this. This is literally like textbook.
No, it is true. So I'm very familiar now with all the buildings. I know, as I said, I know the rents. And you just get familiar with all the different kind of layouts, with the views. So once you just get a call with a unit number, you just know approximately what it could sell for.
And I don't know if you're going to be not modest enough to say it, but you've smashed it since you've been in sales. You moved into sales, you closed your deals, first deal straight away. Last month you closed 5 deals?
Yeah.
5 deals, and you were second in the company overall in terms of our sales agents, which is phenomenal. So hats off to you on that one, because that is a really, really good achievement. What advice for everybody watching back home, what advice have you got for them, whether they're thinking of joining or they're already joining? Any advice, anything that you miss from Germany, like from supermarkets? For me, it's Cadbury's chocolate. Any advice for everybody watching back home?
So I think everyone can make it if you just put in a lot of work. If you're motivated to be an agent, I think this is the right place to be successful. There are so many opportunities. It's a fast market, so the more you work, the longer you stay in the office, and the more you ask as well. I think you can be a very successful agent here in Dubai.
It's not a part-time job.
No, it's a full-time job. It's a 24-hour job.
It's not even a full-time. I think there's part-time, there's full-time, and then it's your life.
Yes.
And real estate is one of those where it takes over your life. You have to be happy with that. But if you then put in those hours and that effort, you do get very well rewarded from it.
That's true, but I think it's not only in Dubai. So even being an agent in Germany, I think if you want to be successful, you've got to put the work in. It gets less the longer you're into the market, of course, because you don't have to do the call-outs anymore, or the clients are coming to you and they want you to sell the property.
Of course.
The longer you're into the market, the less it gets. But of course, especially here, it is like also going into meetings late because you have clients who are living in a different country. But we get a lot of that, right, where you're, especially here in the Middle East, I think more so than in Germany probably, that we have investors from all over the globe. So they might be over in the States, they might be in Australia, so it involves a lot of early mornings and late night calls. Exactly. But if you are ready to do it, I think it's the best
You'd
job.
advise to do it.
I would advise to do it, and I don't really miss Germany at all. I'm very happy to be in the sun and in this great environment here.
Amazing. Lisa, thank you so much. I'm going to keep you with me just for a minute as we move over to Shahin. So you have recently joined us. You joined us literally at the beginning of the conflict.
Yeah, exactly.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
How did you find the move, first of all? Let's start with the recruitment process.
Yeah.
How did you find the recruitment process?
So I started literally before the conflict started. I started on the 9th of February, which is 2.5 months ago. And actually talking about Marbella, I was actually in Marbella when I applied for ENV because of the marketing all the time. Yeah, amazing. I think we have like 4 offices or something in Marbella, so we see it all the time. And the first thing I did was to apply to ENV. And the recruitment was smooth, it was professional. It helped me a lot to understand the role, the culture here in ENV, the things that they provide to us agents, and it helped me a lot to understand what is it to be an agent in that environment, because it's very different from Dubai to Europe.
Of course.
Yeah, so I had my talk with the recruitment team smoothly, and I applied. I think it was in November, but I started in February. So the recruitment was so good, because every like 14 days they kept, hey Shaheen, we're so excited to see you. Yeah, so it was very welcoming. So I felt very, very comfortable. After the recruitment process, I had a talk with my manager, and that was very nice. So I could literally hear how it is to be an agent on the floor in the real life. But yeah, it was very good.
What did you do before real estate?
I actually worked in operations, so it had nothing to do with sales whatsoever. Yeah.
And so no sales or service, very much kind of like B2B style.
At all. So it was more data driven. But it had, of course, some of like supply and demand. So I can use that here, but it had nothing to do with sales at all.
Okay, so coming into the industry only a couple of months ago and being so fresh out of training, did you find that the training that you was given aligned with the role that you went into?
Yeah, absolutely. The training I had was fantastic, to be honest. It was not more like theoretically. It was not like, here is a book about how to become an agent. It was actually a lot of things like tenant qualifications, landlord qualification, how to speak, what to say, and of course it showed us a lot of how to be consistent on how we do, and a lot of to-do lists, like remember to do this, remember to be resilient, be patient. So yeah, it helped. Training was fantastic.
Amazing. And you also have had quite a lot of success, considering when you joined, and you know the media headlines are saying that nothing is happening in Dubai. You are the complete opposite of proving this wrong, because you've closed quite a few deals. You closed your first deal during the conflict. You've closed a couple of deals since then. You're doing really well. And last month, which was what, your second full month of the business?
Second full month.
You ended as the #1 listing agent for the whole of the leasing department, where you put on 21?
Yeah,
21 listings, which is phenomenal. To do that in month 2, to be able to come in and just put your head down and then win an award from the company for all the hard work that you've done.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see where you get on, and I'm sure in 6 to 9 months' time, you're going to be sat where Lisa's sat as we do another one of these interviews. So thank you so much both for taking the time out of your day. I know you're both super busy. Lisa was asking me before this, what time am I done? I've got viewings that I need to plan in, so I will let you go to your viewings. Thank you very much, and I'm going to get the recruitment team and our training department to come back onto the couch and join me for our final part of today, which is the Q&A. Thank you very much, guys.
Of course.
Come on, guys, take a seat. Did you miss me?
Of course, mate.
You missed me. Amazing. So, we had a few questions that come in. V, I'm going to start with you, if we can get the mic over to her. So, somebody has asked, what happens if I need additional training after I finish the academy?
Yeah, so after you finish the academy, my role actually after the academy finishes is still to be on the floor and give you obviously all the support that you need as well. However, what we also are providing right now is that we've done some Elevate sessions where actually some managers from the company do training sessions after the academy finishes as well. So we've done different topics about mortgages, how to maybe currently speak to your sellers or landlords. Is it the right time to currently go onto the market, things like that. And also what we've been trying to implement a bit more now as well. ENV actually has an online academy as well. So worldwide, agents can sign up for online courses. So even after the academy, you can sign up online and do more training if there's anything else that really interests you. So there's loads of support once you come out of the academy.
So if they come out and they still feel as if they need a little bit more help in a certain aspect, then they can get that. It's not just a case of, okay, you're done, good luck. There is still support there.
Yeah, there's support there. As I said, it's from me, it's also from ENV in general with the online academy, but also from all the managers on the floor who will consistently add more training or new sessions as well to support you.
Amazing. Let's pass the mic down to Jodie. Let's keep it in order. Jodie, we have a question here. As a new agent, am I measured on KPIs?
Yeah, so it really does depend, again, what team you're going to go into. So whether you're leasing, sales, commercial or off-plan, you will have your individual team KPIs. However, across the board, the KPIs are going to be, again, more on punctuality. So showing up on time, having a great attitude towards your work, making those calls. The calls is the most important part of your job.
Because you need the listings. That's how you're going to get the calls.
Get on the phone and make those calls to get those listings. So yeah, they're going to be the main sort of KPIs that you're going to be judged on your first couple of weeks.
Okay, cool. Jess, let's go on to you. Question that we always get asked. I'm sure that you're going to know the answer straight away to this one. Do you provide visa and health insurance for agents, or do I need to get my own?
Yeah, so we fully provide that. Our HR team takes care of all of that once you have arrived here in Dubai. So you get a 2-year employment visa and health insurance as well, which is covered by the company.
So typically what would happen is when the agent arrives, especially if they're coming internationally, they will arrive on a tourist visa. And then once they arrive then and they start with V in our academy, the HR will start processing that part.
Exactly, yeah. We'll change the status and our HR team takes care of all of it. So they don't need to think about anything. HR will reach out and let them know all the steps that they need to do.
Perfect. Dom, question for you. What does it take for an agent to become private office? We briefly touched on that earlier, but just for the sake of the question, give us an answer.
Obviously from a financial targeting standpoint, like I mentioned, you should be reaching a commission of around 3.4 million dirhams. Also though, from a personal branding standpoint, you have to be with the company for, like I say, usually 2 years. There are some variables to that, but on the whole it's mainly 2 years. But overall, stand out. You stand out, you have a good network, you come in every day, you look the part, you work the part.
You've got to be an EV ambassador, right? You've got to look like the EV brand.
Look, to be in that top 1% of E&V brokers, you have to represent E&V as
Absolutely.
a top 1%er. So that's the side of it that really matters. Like I say, network is key over here as well. So start when you're in leasing and move all the way up. Like some of the contacts I've had 5 years ago is from being here the first couple of days. So you never know who is going to be a key to your future, so make sure you do it.
Cool. Jess, back to you. What is the earning potential in Dubai real estate? Very open question there.
Well, it's kind of a difficult one to say because obviously it's uncapped commission, so it's performance driven. It's whatever you put in, that's what you're going to get out of it. I think that going into this industry, one good month can outperform a full year's salary back in the UK where I'm from, and that's why people are making the move. So yeah, it's completely down to you and what you actually put into it, what you're going to get out of it.
Okay, amazing. Jodie, how quickly do I get paid once I close a deal?
So this is another one I love because this is another benefit of working with Engel Völkers, because we actually have 2 commission paydays every single month. So you can get paid out on it quite quickly, especially if you're in leasing. So if you close a deal 1 week, you can actually be paid out on that the next week.
Straight away?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really good.
Amazing. And V, come to you for the last question before we go on to some of our live questions that we've had quite a lot of actually. I am moving over in August and I'm super excited. I'm glad. Is there any training that I can do beforehand?
Yes, so as Jess mentioned, we do in the onboarding, so after you've gone through the interview stages and you now got the job, we do supply you with obviously some training previously as well. And we also send out terminology sheets, and as I said, if there's any further questions they have or if they want to already get started, we do have the online academy as well. So there's loads of training they can do before, and obviously they can always just, if they want to even dig deeper and learn more about Dubai, they can obviously always reach out again to the recruitment or to myself as well to get more help there to train and be prepared.
Perfect. So we have received, honestly, I have marketing behind the camera just sending me loads and loads and loads of questions. So I'll just go for a couple of these now. Saeed from London is asking, how can I join?
So you can go on to either our LinkedIn or our website and you can apply via there. Then you'll receive either a WhatsApp or an email or a call from one of us at the recruitment team. And then, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You can apply tonight and we can actually get back to you tomorrow morning.
Ree has asked, we've just covered it a little bit, but she says, as a current salesperson that understands the sales cycle but never worked in real estate, so a lot of starting from the ground up, what realistically would a person like me make in their first year? I think it's a hard one to answer because it very much depends on you. I mean, if you're hitting your KPIs, ideally you would start in leasing if you haven't got the experience of it before. But your KPIs of when you're an experienced broker, some of our agents are taking 20 plus thousand dirhams home with them each month, and that is only going to go up. And with it being uncapped, as Jess said, it's also tax-free. It's one of my favourite things about working here in the United Arab Emirates is that we don't have to pay tax, so it all goes into your pocket. Another question that we have, with thousands of agents, how are leads distributed, or is it first come, first served? I think I'll answer that one again from a brokerage side, is that yes, there are thousands of agents in the market, and one of the things that I love about this company is that we aren't huge. We're not a 400-500 brokerage. We cover some of the main communities here in Dubai, but we are not oversaturated with agents, and the leads are given to you if it's your listing. So let's say that you've made a call and you've spoken to a landlord or a seller. That is now your listing that you will publish online. Any lead generated from that listing will come directly to you. Regarding our direct leads that we get, that we briefly mentioned earlier on, these ones are done on a rotation basis. So if you're an agent that covers a community where there is 4 or 5 other agents, the call center will manage those leads on a fair rotation basis. So once you're at the top, that will be the next lead that you receive, and then you'll head to the bottom of the queue until you work your way back up. And final question that I will read out from today. The rest of them we will come back to you on. However, we'll be here all day answering your questions. We have somebody from Rome. I'm from Rome. I work in real estate and I'm 37. Is it possible to apply? Absolutely, yes. We have age ranges from all over working here at Engel Völkers. It's not like you've got to be young. Dubai is an amazing place, whether you are younger, whether you are older, maybe you have a family, I'm not sure. But that's one of the things that is incredible about Dubai, is that it really gives that structure for everybody, whether you are looking for a single life, maybe you're a 37-year-old bachelor, or whether you're a little bit more calmed down and you're married with children, you've got all of that aspect here. And we can offer definitely Engel Völkers support for whatever age you are.
Believe it or not, Jake is 52 years old,
I
so
am.
there you go.
I've got a lot of Botox, a lot of filler, and I'm 52 years old. No, I'm 27. I don't want to leave that as the final note that I'm 52.
He's 52, sign off.
Anyway, leaving it there, that is the end of our first ever, the EV Lounge, and we are hosting our recruitment webinar with you today. Thank you so much for joining in. If you would like to get in touch with any of our recruitment team, you can follow us on social media. You can apply on the links that will be sent to you. And any more questions you've got, feel free to pop them into the chat and our recruitment team will be in touch. But from myself, the rest of the team, thank you so much for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.